Stop throwing a tantrum. Your daddy will be home soon and see what kind of girl you are. The screams came from the second floor of the residence. Paloma stopped at the back door listening to a girl crying desperately. No one can stand you anymore. Stay there crying until you learn your lesson. A door slammed shut. Oh no. What a situation, muttered Carmen, the maid who greeted Paloma. The boss is upset again. What boss, Doña Veronica? The girl's stepmother. More screams from the girl echoed through the house. And where's the father? Traveling. Always traveling. Carmen shook her head. Look, dear, I'm warning you. This job isn't going to be easy. Paloma ran up the stairs, following the sound of crying. In the hallway, an elegant blonde woman was coming out of one of the rooms, slamming the door behind. You must be the new maid. Veronica fixed her hair, trying to look calm. Great, because I need to go out. The girl is throwing a tantrum. When she stops, you can start work. The girl is fine. She's fine. She's just being dramatic, as usual. Veronica hurried down the stairs, grabbed her bag, and left. The crying continued to come from the room. Paloma knocked on the door. Hello, little one. May I come in? The crying subsided a little. I won't scold you, I promise. She opened the door slowly. A little girl with brown hair was sitting on the floor hugging her own legs, her face wet with tears, her eyes swollen. Hello, sweetheart. What's your name? The girl looked at her suspiciously. Camilla? Camilla, what a pretty name. I'm Paloma. Why were you crying? Camilla pointed to her tummy. It hurts. Are you hungry? The girl nodded. What time did you eat? I didn't eat. Paloma looked at the clock. It's 1:00 p.m. You didn't have breakfast. Veronica forgot. She forgot. How could someone forget to feed a little girl? Come on, let's find something tasty for you. Camilla hesitated but took Paloma's hand. They went down to the kitchen together. How about some cake and juice? Sounds good. While she prepared lunch, Paloma watched the little girl. She was swinging her little legs on the stool, paying attention to everything. How many slices did I cut? Paloma showed her the cake. 2. Way to go, smart girl. Camilla's face lit up. It was obvious she didn't get compliments very often. You can eat. Camilla devoured the cake as if she were starving to death. Paloma, good girl. You're good, Camilla. Very special. Veronica said, I'm bad. Paloma's heart sank. Veronica is wrong. You're a beautiful and intelligent girl. Camilla stopped chewing and looked into Paloma's eyes. Something happened between them at that moment. Trust. Paloma, stay. I'm going to work here every day. Okay. After lunch, Camilla wanted to show her toys. The room was big, but messy. No one helped her organize it. She took some picture books and began to name the colors. Blue, red, yellow. Perfect. Do you know any more colors? Pink, green, purple? It was impressive. The girl had much more ability than those who lived with her realized. They were playing when they heard the front door. Veronica was back. Camilla immediately became tense. I'm going upstairs. Veronica appeared at the door. She saw Paloma and Camilla playing, and her face changed. Camilla, did you eat? The girl nodded, shrugging her shoulders. Who gave you permission? Camilla pointed to Paloma but said nothing. I saw that she was hungry, so I made lunch. Paloma explained. Next time, ask first. Camilla has set meal times. If she eats at the wrong time, she won't want dinner. Veronica approached her stepdaughter with a forced smile. Right, sweetheart? You know you have to wait for dinner. Camilla looked at Paloma, then at Veronica, confused. Now stay quiet while the lady works. All right, Camilla nodded, but when Veronica left the room, she approached Paloma and whispered, She's mean, it hurts. Paloma felt a pit in her stomach. The way Camilla spoke, the fear in her little eyes. How does she hurt you? But Camilla had already heard Veronica coming back and pretended to be playing. Veronica entered the room again. Camilla, put those toys away. Everything is messy. The girl began to quickly put everything away with fear. Faster. Your dad doesn't like mess. Camilla tripped trying to put everything away quickly, and some blocks fell. Look at that, clumsy. Sorry, it's no good. Veronica grabbed Camilla's arm harder than necessary, leaving her skin red. Stop being so slow. Camilla began to cry softly. And stop crying too. Your daddy doesn't like crybaby girls. Paloma had to control herself so as not to interfere. If she did, she would be fired on the spot and Camilla would be left alone with Veronica. There now, go play by yourself while Paloma works. Veronica left the room. Camilla showed Paloma her arm. It had a red mark. It hurts. Come here. Paloma hugged the girl slowly. Camilla, when someone hurts you, can you tell me? It's okay. Veronica said, No, I can't. Why, Daddy, are you going to give me to other people? Paloma felt enormous anger at how someone could threaten a child like that. Camilla, listen to me. Your daddy is never going to give you to anyone. He loves you. He loves me? The question broke Paloma's heart. Camilla wasn't sure if her dad loved her. Of course he loves you. You're his daughter. Camilla thought for a moment. Then she took some paper and crayons. She drew two figures, a big one with yellow hair and a small one on the ground crying. Is that you? Paloma pointed to the small figure. Camilla nodded. And this is Veronica. She nodded again. She does this when your daddy isn't here. Yes, Paloma put the drawing away. Maybe someday she would need to prove what was happening. When she left at the end of the day, she heard Veronica on the phone. Hi, honey. Everything's fine here. Camilla ate well and played. She looks beautiful. That's a lie. Camilla had spent the day scared and hungry. The new housekeeper is good. Camilla liked her. Pause. Of course I'll take good care of our princess. Kiss. Paloma left the house with a heavy heart. Camilla was in danger, and she was the only person who knew it. The next day, Paloma arrived and found Camilla sitting on the stairs, still in her pajamas. Hi, sweetie. Why didn't you get dressed? Veronica didn't help. Where is she? Talking on the phone. Paloma heard Veronica's voice coming from the living room. Sweet, affectionate tone. Alejandro. Camilla slept superbly. She already had breakfast. She's playing. Alejandro. Camilla slept superbly. She already had breakfast. She's playing. A beautiful Paloma. She knew Camilla hadn't had breakfast. The girl had been hungry for hours. Sure, love, you can relax at work. Everything's under control here. Veronica hung up and shouted, Camilla, come here. The girl ran downstairs, tripping over her long pajamas. Why are you still in your pajamas? It's past time to get dressed. You didn't wake me up. I'm not your nanny. You have to learn to do things on your own. Camilla lowered her head. Go get dressed and hurry up. The girl went upstairs slowly. Paloma followed her. Do you need help? Yes, I do. Paloma helped Camilla choose her clothes and get dressed. The girl was hungry, so they went down to the kitchen. How about some scrambled eggs? I like them. While she was cooking, Paloma watched Veronica through the window. She was in the garden, talking on the phone again, laughing, relaxed. Mom, I can't take this situation anymore. Every time I look at her, I remember that he was already a father to another woman. Paloma paid attention. It's not just that, Mom. It's that when I lost my baby and she's there alive, taking the place that should have been my son's. Camilla pulled on Paloma's blouse. Eggs are ready, almost done, dear. Veronica continued. I know it's not your fault, but I can't. And now with this new maid, the girl is getting smarter. Alejandro is going to realize that I'm not taking good care of her. Paloma served the eggs to Camilla, but she kept listening. Sometimes I think it would be better if she went to a special school, you know, boarding school. That way Alejandro and I could have our real family. Paloma's skin bristled. Veronica wanted to get rid of Camilla. Of course, I'm not going to tell Alejandro that now, but if I can prove that she's very difficult to handle. The call ended. Veronica entered the kitchen and stopped when she saw Camilla eating. She couldn't wait for lunch. She was hungry. Paloma answered, Camilla, you know there are set times for eating. If you eat now, you won't want lunch. But she was hungry. Hunger is not an excuse for disobeying. Veronica approached the girl. Finish that quickly and go to your room. I need to talk to Paloma. Camilla ate quickly and left. Veronica waited for her to disappear before speaking. Look, Paloma, you seem like a nice person, but I need to make one thing clear. Camilla is a special girl. She needs routine and boundaries. If you keep spoiling her, you're going to harm her development. I know you just want to help, but Alejandro and I are the ones who decide what's best for Camilla. You're here to clean the house, not to educate the girl. Understood? Perfect. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to take care of my stepdaughter. You're here to clean the house, not to raise the girl. Understood? Perfect. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to take care of my stepdaughter. Veronica went upstairs. A few minutes later, Paloma heard, Camilla, what's this mess? I'm sorry the toys fell. How many times do I have to tell you? You have to be more careful. A noise, then crying. Stop crying. Crying doesn't solve anything. Paloma ran upstairs. She found Camilla on the floor of her room holding her arm. What happened? She tripped. Veronica said coldly, I warned her that she's clumsy. I didn't trip. Camilla whispered. Veronica pushed her. Camilla, stop making up lies, Veronica yelled. The girl began to cry even louder. See, she makes up stories when she does something wrong. It's a habit she developed. Paloma helped Camilla up. The girl's arm was red. Does it hurt a little? It doesn't hurt at all, Veronica interjected. She's dramatic. Every little thing turns into a big deal. Paloma took Camilla to the bathroom and put cold water on her arm. Better, Camilla. Veronica, did she really push you? The girl looked down the hall fearfully, then nodded quietly. Why? I said slowly, to put your toys away. Paloma felt enormous anger, but she controlled herself. Come on, let's go downstairs. The rest of the day was tense. Veronica treated Camilla coldly, ignoring her when the girl tried to talk to her. At lunchtime, Veronica served only a small portion for Camilla. Is that all? Paloma asked. She ate eggs in the morning, remember? She can't eat too much. Camilla ate quickly, still hungry, but didn't ask for more. In the afternoon, when Camilla was drawing in the living room, Veronica approached her. What an ugly drawing. Why can't you draw properly? Camilla stopped drawing. Sorry, your dad will be sad if he sees these scribbles. Camilla tore up the drawing. That's better. Daddy doesn't like mess. Paloma saw everything from the kitchen with a broken heart. When Alejandro arrived at the end of the day, Veronica's transformation was impressive. Hi, honey. She ran to hug him. How was your day? Tired and here? Quiet. Camila was good. She played and drew. That wasn't true. Camila had spent the day intimidated and sad. Where is she? In her room resting. She had a busy day. Alejandro didn't even go up to see his daughter. And the new maid, good. Camila liked her, maybe too much. How so? Oh, nothing serious. It's just that Camila is becoming very dependent on her. That worries me a little. Why? She already lost her mother. Alejandro, if she gets too attached to the maid and then she leaves, I understand, but it's nothing serious. I just think we should keep an eye on things. Paloma heard everything from the kitchen. Veronica was planting seeds of doubt about her in Alejandro's head. When she was leaving, Paloma quickly went upstairs to say goodbye to Camilla. Goodbye, dear. See you tomorrow, Paloma. Veronica is going to hurt her again. No, if you stay quiet, it'll be fine. And if she does anything, tell me tomorrow. Okay. You're a very brave girl, Camilla. I am, and smart too. Camilla smiled for the first time that day. Paloma left the house knowing that the situation was worse than she had imagined. Veronica wasn't just negligent. She had a plan to get rid of Camilla. And worst of all, Alejandro had no idea what was going on in his own home. The third day, Paloma arrived and heard screams coming from Camilla's room. I told you to stay quiet. Why don't you obey? Sorry, I just wanted some water. Water? No, you already had water at breakfast. Paloma rushed upstairs. The door to Camilla's room was locked from the outside. Camilla. Paloma. Help me. Paloma looked for the key and found it in the dresser in the hallway. When she opened the door, Camilla ran into her arms. Why were you locked in there? I asked for Daddy. Why won't he talk to me? And then Veronica got angry. Paloma felt a lump in her throat. The girl was punished for asking her own father a question. When did this happen? Breakfast. So Alejandro left for work knowing that his daughter was locked in her room. Come on, let's have breakfast. They were in the kitchen when they heard the sound of a car. Daddy! Camilla ran to the living room. Alejandro had come back to get some documents. When he saw Camilla running toward him, he stopped surprised. Hello, princess. It's good to see you awake. Daddy! Camilla threw herself into his arms. Alejandro seemed taken aback by his daughter's affection. What were you doing? I was locked in. Locked in? Where? Veronica came down the stairs quickly. Alejandro, why did you come back? I forgot some papers. Camilla, what do you mean locked in your room? Why won't you talk to me? Alejandro looked at Veronica confused. She was throwing a tantrum. Alejandro, Veronica explained quickly, I had to leave her in her room to calm down. I wasn't throwing a tantrum. I just asked, why won't Daddy talk to me? The simple question left Alejandro speechless. When was the last time he really talked to Camilla? Of course I talked to you, princess. When? Alejandro remained silent. Veronica took advantage of the situation. See how she is? Always questioning, always dissatisfied. Sometimes it's hard to deal with her. No, I'm not difficult, Camilla said quietly. Of course not. Alejandro crouched down in front of his daughter. We'll talk tonight. It's okay when I get back. Promise, promise. Alejandro picked up his documents and left. Camilla was beaming all day, telling Paloma, Daddy, he's going to talk to me. That's great. You're so happy. But when Alejandro arrived that night, Veronica already had an excuse ready. Alejandro, Camilla had a difficult day. She threw a tantrum, did not want to eat properly. She's coming down with something. She's already asleep. She wasn't sick this morning. You know how kids are. One minute they're fine, the next they're sick. Alejandro went upstairs just to check on her. Camilla pretended to be asleep so she wouldn't cause problems for Veronica. The next day, the little girl's face was sad. Daddy, she forgot. She didn't forget, sweetie. Veronica said you were sick. I wasn't, I know. Why does Veronica lie? How could she explain to a 7-year-old girl the evilness of adults? Sometimes people do bad things because they are suffering. Veronica is suffering. I think so. In the days that followed, Paloma noticed a pattern. Whenever Alejandro showed interest in spending time with Camilla, Veronica made up an excuse. The girl was tired, sick, going through a difficult phase. Paloma decided to help Camilla in another way. She began to teach her things during the day. Let's learn the days of the week. How? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Camilla repeated excitedly. Paloma also taught her numbers up to 20, how to tie her shoes, and some words in English. The transformation was incredible. In a few days, Camilla was more talkative, more confident, and happier. One Thursday, Alejandro arrived and found Camilla counting to 20. Camilla, where did you learn that? Paloma taught her. Alejandro looked at Paloma in surprise. She's very smart. She just needs encouragement. The doctors always said she would have limitations. Every child has limitations, but every child also has potential. Alejandro stood watching Camilla show him how she knew how to tie her shoes. It was obvious that he was seeing his daughter with new eyes. Veronica watched from the kitchen and didn't like what she saw at all. That night, Paloma heard an argument in the couple's bedroom. I don't think it's good for Camilla to become so dependent on the maid. Dependent? She's learning. And when Paloma leaves, Camilla will be frustrated. Why would she leave? Alejandro, domestic workers don't stay forever. And Camilla is already very attached. Or maybe that's exactly what she needed. Someone who believes in her. Are you saying that I don't? I'm not saying anything. I just think Camilla is happy. And you think I don't want her to be happy? The conversation continued, but Paloma had to leave. One thing was clear. Veronica was planting doubts about her in Alejandro's head, and that meant danger for Camilla. The opportunity Veronica had been waiting for came on a Friday. Alejandro had a meeting that ran late, and Camilla woke up crying from a nightmare in the early morning. Paloma arrived in the morning and found Camilla in her room, still upset, while Veronica was on the phone with Alejandro. I don't know what to do, honey. She had a horrible night. She screamed all night long. Now she's throwing a tantrum. She doesn't want to eat. Paloma observed. Camilla wasn't throwing a tantrum. She was scared and tired. Maybe you need to talk to her when you get home, or maybe I'll call the pediatrician. Sometimes special children need medicine to control their behavior. Medicine to control behavior. Camilla was only 7 years old. It's okay, honey. Kiss. Veronica hung up and looked at Camilla coldly. Your dad is very worried about you. He said that if you don't get better, you're going to have to take medicine to calm down. Camilla was terrified. I don't want medicine. Then stop making a fuss. Paloma couldn't take it anymore. Veronica, she's not making a fuss. She had a nightmare. It's normal for children to get nervous. I'm sorry, but Alejandro and I decide what's normal for Camilla. You're just the maid. The phrase was like a slap in the face for Paloma. During the day, Paloma tried to calm Camilla, who was upset by the threat of medicine. She managed to get her to eat a little and even smile while playing with plasticine. When Alejandro arrived at the end of the afternoon, he found Camilla drawing in the living room. How is she doing? Veronica, he replied. The maid managed to distract her, but I still think you should talk to her. Alejandro approached Camilla. Princess, Veronica told me you had a difficult night. Camilla looked at Veronica, then at her dad. I had a nightmare. About what, monster? It wanted to take me away. Alejandro felt a tightness in his chest. No one is going to take you away, Camila. You are my daughter. You will always be with me. Always, always. Camilla threw herself into her dad's arms. For a moment, Paloma thought that everything could be resolved, but on Saturday, Alejandro decided to work at home. It was a rare opportunity to see how things worked. Paloma was cleaning the office when she heard Veronica calling Camilla. Camilla, put those toys away. You said no more playing. Now, just a little longer, okay? Now, Veronica's voice became aggressive. Camilla, frightened, began to put the toys away, but she dropped some blocks. Be careful, you're so clumsy. Sorry doesn't work. You always break everything. That wasn't true. Camilla was even more careful than other children. While Camilla was putting away the last toys, Veronica bumped into her. The girl lost her balance and fell, hurting her knee. Ouch, see, you're really clumsy. Camilla started to cry. Alejandro appeared at the door. What happened? Camilla tripped while playing. I warned you she was very restless. I didn't trip. Veronica pushed me. Heavy silence. Alejandro looked at Veronica, who looked surprised. Alejandro, did you hear that? She's lying. Camilla doesn't lie. Children make up stories. She tripped, and now she's blaming me. I didn't lie. Veronica pushed me. Camilla cried in frustration because she couldn't explain herself. Alejandro was torn. His daughter said one thing. His wife said another. Veronica saw the crucial moment. Alejandro, I'm worried. Camilla is making up more and more stories since this maid arrived. Yesterday she said I locked her in. Today she said I pushed her. I think someone is putting ideas in her head. Alejandro looked at Paloma. Paloma, did you say anything to Camilla about how she should interact with Veronica? No, sir. I just play with her and teach her some things. What kind of things? Colors? Numbers? Words? And you never suggested that someone was mistreating her? Paloma was at a crossroads. If she told the truth, she would be fired. If she lied, she would betray Camilla. I only listen when she wants to talk, and she said that someone mistreats her. Sometimes she gets sad and doesn't know how to explain why. See, Veronica said triumphantly, you're confusing the girl. Camilla never had these problems before this woman arrived. Alejandro sighed. Paloma, I think it's best if you just concentrate on cleaning. It's fine. Leave Camilla's education to us. Yes, sir. Paloma returned to the office with a broken heart. She had just failed to protect Camilla and knew that things were going to get much worse. From then on, after Alejandro's scolding, Paloma had to be more careful. But Camilla found a way to communicate with her without words. When Veronica approached, the girl ran to Paloma and touched her arm, making a shushing sound with her finger. Ready, Paloma whispered. Camilla smiled proudly. The girl began to use simple drawings to communicate. A house meant Veronica was angry. A heart meant Daddy was coming. A sad face meant I'm scared. You are very smart, Camilla. I'm much more than everyone thinks. During the week, Paloma noticed that Camilla understood facial expressions better than any adult. She knew when Veronica was lying just by looking at her. How do you know? Watch, it gets small. And when your daddy is sad, he doesn't look at me. It was impressive how the girl read people's emotions. On Wednesday, Camilla drew a picture that made Paloma's blood run cold. A figure with yellow hair talking on the phone, and next to it she wrote, Camilla, she's leaving. Where did you hear that, Veronica? On the phone. What did she say? School, far away. The girl had understood that Veronica wanted to send her to boarding school. Are you scared? Camilla nodded, tears in her eyes. I don't want to go. I don't want you to go either. That afternoon, Veronica came downstairs and saw Paloma giving Camilla a cookie. How many times do I have to tell you she has a schedule? It was just a cookie. One cookie becomes two. Two become three. Where do the limits end? Veronica approached Camilla. Go up to your room, but I'm still eating right now. Camilla got up quickly, but the cookie fell on the floor. Look at that. You made a mess. I'm sorry. You're so clumsy. That's why people have no patience with you. The cruel words made Camilla lower her head. Go upstairs and I don't want to hear any noise. Camilla ran upstairs. Paloma approached Veronica. She's just a child, and I'm responsible for her. I don't need opinions. I'll do it myself. You're here to clean, not to educate. Veronica went upstairs after Camilla. A few minutes later, Paloma heard the bedroom door slam shut. When Alejandro arrived, Veronica already had her story ready. How was Camilla's day? Fine. She played and ate well. Where is she? Resting. She had a very busy day. Alejandro didn't question it. He went upstairs quickly just to say goodnight. He found Camilla pretending to be asleep. Good night, princess. Good night, daddy. Let's play tomorrow. Okay, it's fine. But when Alejandro came downstairs, Veronica commented, Alejandro, I've noticed that Camilla is becoming very dependent on the maid. How so? She only wants to play when Paloma is around. When it's just the two of us, she's quiet, kind of rebellious. Rebellious. Oh, nothing serious, just a phase, but I think we should keep an eye on her. Keep an eye out for what? Children can get confused if they receive different upbringings from different people. Alejandro became thoughtful. Do you think Paloma is doing something wrong? Not wrong, just different from what I do. And that can confuse Camilla. I understand, it's nothing serious. I just think we should talk to her about maintaining consistency. The next day, Paloma arrived and found Camilla looking a little sad. What's wrong, sweetie? Camilla showed her a drawing, a small figure standing alone, far away from the others. That's you. Yes. Why are you alone? Veronica said you're leaving. Paloma felt her heart sink. I'm not leaving. But she said that daddy doesn't like her playing with you. That's not true. No, your daddy wants you to be happy. And are you happy playing with me? Yes. Then everything is fine. Now Camilla cheered up a little, but Paloma noticed that Veronica was planting seeds of insecurity in the girl's mind. In the afternoon, when Camilla was drawing in the living room, Veronica came over. What's that drawing? It's Paloma. And why do you always draw Paloma? You never draw me. Camilla was speechless. Do you like Paloma more than me? Answer me. Do you like her more? She's nice to me, and I'm not nice. Camilla didn't know what to say. It's okay. I understand. Veronica took all of Camilla's drawings and tore them up. If you prefer the maid, then you don't need to draw anymore. Camilla started to cry and stopped crying. Crying children are annoying. When Paloma saw the torn drawings in the trash, she felt enormous rage. But she knew she couldn't confront Veronica directly. At the end of the day, when she was packing up to leave, she found Camilla hiding behind the living room curtain. What are you doing there? Hiding from whom? Veronica is angry with me. Why? Because I like you. The phrase broke Paloma's heart. Camilla was being punished for loving her. Camilla, there's nothing wrong with loving me. Yes, there is. Veronica, she said, Veronica is wrong. Camilla showed her a crumpled piece of paper. She had managed to save a drawing before Veronica tore everything up. It was a small figure with tears in its eyes. That's me. And why are you crying in the drawing? Because Veronica is going to send me away. I love you. Paloma hugged Camilla, knowing that the situation was becoming increasingly dangerous. Veronica wasn't just being cruel, she was systematically destroying every source of joy in Camilla's life. And worst of all, Alejandro had no idea of what was happening in his own home. Alejandro decided to work from home on Thursday. He wanted to get a better look at the family dynamics. I'm staying home today, he announced at breakfast. Veronica tensed up. But you have that important meeting. I rescheduled it. I want to spend time with Camilla. Alejandro, she has a routine. If you change it, she gets restless. Restless or just happy to see her dad? The question caught Veronica off guard. During the morning, Alejandro watched everything carefully. Camilla was playing in the living room when Veronica approached her. Camilla, put those toys away. Can I play some more? No, your dad is working and needs silence. But I'm not making any noise. Yes, you are. Now put them away. Alejandro, who was in his office with the door open, knew that Camilla wasn't really making any noise. A few minutes later, Paloma approached the girl. Do you want help putting them away? Yes. How about a game? Red cars in one box, blue cars in another. Game on. Camilla was excited. In 5 minutes, everything was tidied up, and she had learned to sort by color. Very good, you're super smart. Alejandro saw the difference. With Veronica, Camilla put things away fearfully. With Paloma, she learned by playing. In the afternoon, Alejandro went downstairs to play with his daughter. What do you want to do? Can I show you what I know? Sure. Camilla ran to get paper and crayons. I know how to write my name, Camilla wrote with shaky but legible letters. Wow, who taught you that? Paloma. Alejandro looked at Paloma in surprise. She's very smart. She learns fast. Camilla, what else do you know? The girl showed count to 20, some words in English, and tie her shoes. That's great. Very good. I'm impressed. It was obvious that Alejandro was seeing his daughter with new eyes. Veronica watched from the kitchen, annoyed. Alejandro, isn't she getting too restless? Restless, she's happy. But look how she's talking loudly, gesturing. She's excited because someone is paying attention to her. During dinner, Camilla talked about her drawings, songs she knew, stories she liked. She's very talkative today, Veronica commented critically. She was always talkative. She just needed someone to listen to her. After dinner, Alejandro took Camilla to her room. Did you like playing with me? I loved it, Princess. Can we do it again? I can do it every day. Alejandro looked into his daughter's eyes. She was begging for attention. I'll try harder. Promise? I promise. When he came downstairs, he found Veronica in the living room with a serious look on her face. I need to talk to you. About what? About today. Did you see how Camilla was acting? How was she acting? More restless, noisy. That's not normal, Veronica. For the first time in a long time, I saw my daughter happy. But special children need calm, routine. She needs love and attention. And you think I don't give her that? Alejandro hesitated. You do, but maybe not in the way she needs it. Oh, how so? Today I saw an intelligent, curious girl, different from the limited child you always describe. She had a good day, but the limitations are still there. Or maybe she has more potential than we're noticing. Alejandro, you work outside the home. I'm with her all day. That's exactly why I want to observe her more. Are you doubting my care? I'm not doubting, I just want to understand better. Understand? Why does Camilla seem like a different girl when you're not around? Veronica was speechless. Tomorrow I want to be with her again, Alejandro. It's not a request, it's a decision. That night, Alejandro thought about everything he had seen. Camilla was more capable than he had imagined, and Paloma had achieved in weeks what neither he nor Veronica had achieved in years. For the first time, he began to question whether Veronica really wanted what was best for Camilla or if she just wanted what was easiest for her. The next day, Veronica woke up determined to regain control. Alejandro had left for work after saying, I want Camilla to have a good day. But Veronica had other plans. Camilla, come here. The girl came down excited because her dad had promised to play with her again in the afternoon. I need to talk to you about yesterday. Camilla sat on the edge of the couch. You left your dad worried. How? You were very restless, very noisy, but he said he liked it. He said that so as not to hurt you, but later he told me that you need to learn to control yourself. Camilla was confused. She was sure that her dad had been happy. Daddy likes quiet, well-behaved children, not children who run around screaming and making a fuss. No, I yelled. Yes, you yelled. And if you keep doing that, he won't want to play with you anymore. No, nobody likes rude children. Camilla began to doubt herself. If you want him to keep loving you, you have to stay quiet, without talking much, without making any noise. But he asked me to tell him things. He was being polite. Actually, he got tired. Tears appeared in Camilla's eyes. Don't cry. Crying is ugly. Daddy hates crybabies. Camilla swallowed her tears, confused and hurt. Now go to your room and remember, if you want me to love you, stay quiet. Camilla went upstairs slowly, devastated by Veronica's lies. When Paloma arrived, the house was strangely silent. Where's Camilla? In her room resting. It's okay. She's just learning to behave better. Can I see her? No, she needs discipline. Paloma spent the morning worried. She didn't hear a sound from Camilla's room. At lunchtime, Veronica called the girl. You can come downstairs. Camilla came down with red eyes, but without crying. Hello, dear, Paloma whispered. Camilla looked at her but didn't answer. Camilla, Paloma spoke to you. Hello, the girl replied without enthusiasm. During lunch, Camilla ate in silence without looking up. See how well behaved she is, Veronica commented. much better than yesterday. But Paloma knew that this wasn't good behavior. It was sadness. In the afternoon, Alejandro arrived excited. "Where's my princess?" "In her room." But Alejandro's acting a little strange today. Strange as in very quiet, a little sad. "I think she's upset about yesterday." "She's upset? Why?" Children sometimes realize when they've behaved badly. Alejandro went upstairs confused. He found Camilla sitting on her bed looking out the window. "Hello, princess." "Hello, sir." "Sir, why don't you call me daddy?" Veronica said it's more polite. "Camilla, I'm your daddy. Call me daddy." "Okay. What do you want to do today?" "Whatever the Lord wants. I want to know what you want." Camilla remained silent. "Yesterday you were so excited. What happened?" "I misbehaved." "Who said that?" "Veronica." Alejandro felt annoyed. "Camilla, I loved playing with you yesterday, but Veronica said you got tired." "Veronica was wrong. I wasn't, and I want to play again." A smile appeared on Camilla's face. "Can I show you my new drawing?" "Sure," but when Alejandro saw the drawings, he was shocked. They were sad figures, people crying. "Why are your drawings sad?" "I don't know. Are you sad?" Camilla looked toward the hallway, afraid. "Wiki, I can't tell you. You can tell me anything." Veronica said, "I can't tell secrets." Alejandro sensed that something was wrong. "What kind of secrets?" "I can't tell you or you won't love me anymore." The phrase alarmed Alejandro. "Camilla, I will always love you. Always." The girl looked into her father's eyes, wanting to believe him, but still afraid. Alejandro went downstairs, feeling disturbed. He found Veronica in the kitchen. "What secrets can't Camilla tell me?" "Secrets. She said she can't tell me certain things. Oh, I explained to her that she shouldn't repeat everything she hears. Children sometimes distort things. They distort like Alejandro. She has Down syndrome and sometimes misunderstands things and then tells them in a confusing way. But she seemed afraid to tell me something, afraid of disappointing you. I teach her to think before she speaks." The explanation made sense, but Alejandro was left with a doubt. Something didn't add up, and he was going to find out what it was. Alejandro spent the weekend observing. He began to notice little things he had never noticed before. On Saturday morning during breakfast, Camilla spilled some milk on the table. "Careful, Camilla," Veronica said irritably. "Sorry." Camilla shrugged her shoulders as if expecting a bigger scolding. "It's okay, princess. It happens," Alejandro said, wiping with a napkin. Camilla looked at her dad in surprise, as if she wasn't used to such calm reactions. In the afternoon, Alejandro was reading in his office when he heard Veronica in the living room. "Camilla, stop making noise with those toys." Alejandro paid attention. The sound was minimal, just blocks being stacked. "But I'm not making any noise." "Yes, you are. Your dad is trying to work. Can I play more quietly?" "No, put everything away and go to your room." Alejandro frowned. Why couldn't Camilla play in the living room of her own house? On Sunday, he decided to try something. "Camilla, do you want to help me wash the car?" "Can I?" "Sure." Veronica intervened quickly. "Alejandro's going to get all dirty and he could slip on the water. She's careful, but if something happens to her, it won't be anything serious." Alejandro took Camilla to the yard. The girl was thrilled to help soap the car. "I like helping Daddy, and I like your help." When they returned, Veronica commented, "Look how dirty she is. Now she's going to have to take a bath again." "No problem," Alejandro said. "Not for you. I'm going to bathe her. I can bathe her." "You, Alejandro, you don't even know how to bathe her." "I can learn. She needs special care. She has a whole routine." Alejandro noticed that Veronica always found excuses to keep him from taking care of his own daughter. On Monday, he decided to try a more direct approach. "Veronica, I'm picking up Camilla from school today." "Why? Because I want to, but I always pick her up. She's used to me. She can get used to me, too." "Alejandro, the change in routine makes her nervous." "How do you know? Have you tried it? It doesn't need to be tried. Special children work better with a fixed routine, or maybe she just needs more flexibility." Veronica was annoyed by Alejandro's insistence. That afternoon, when he went to pick up Camilla, Alejandro talked to the teacher. "How is Camilla doing?" "Very well. She's one of the most dedicated students." "Dedicated, yes. She does all the activities, interacts well with other children, is very affectionate, and her behavior is exemplary. We've never had any problems with her." Alejandro was confused. The teacher's description did not match the difficult girl that Veronica always described. She talks about home. Sometimes she talks a lot about Paloma. I think it's the nanny, the domestic worker. Oh yes, she adores that Paloma. She always draws the two of you playing. And about the stepmother, the teacher hesitated. Well, she doesn't talk much about that. She doesn't say anything. Once she drew a female figure that she called stepmother, but in the drawing the figure was far away from the other people. Far away, separated, as if she weren't part of the family. Alejandro drove home thoughtfully. At school, Camilla was described as affectionate and well-behaved. At home, according to Veronica, she was difficult and problematic. What was the truth? When they got home, Veronica asked, "How was it?" "Fine," the teacher said. "Camilla is one of the best students." "Sure, she behaves well at school. The problem is at home." And why would it be any different? Because at home, she feels more comfortable throwing tantrums. Or maybe at home, she feels less accepted. The phrase slipped out before Alejandro realized it. Veronica was offended. "Are you implying that I don't accept her?" "I'm not implying anything." "Yes, you are. Do you think I treat her badly, Veronica?" "I just think that maybe we could be more positive with her." Positive as in praising her more, criticizing her less. "Alejandro, too much praise spoils children. She needs boundaries." "Of course she does, but she also needs affection." "And you think I don't give her affection?" Alejandro looked at his wife. When was the last time he saw Veronica hug Camilla spontaneously? Or praise something she did? "I think we can all improve." But inside, Alejandro was beginning to seriously question whether Veronica really loved Camilla or if she just tolerated her presence. On Tuesday, Veronica woke up knowing she needed to take action. Alejandro was asking too many questions, observing too much. "Paloma, I need to talk to you." "Yes, ma'am. I've noticed that you're getting very involved with Camilla." "How so?" "Teaching her things? Playing with her?" "That's not part of your job. She likes to learn, but Alejandro and I are the ones who decide what she should learn, not you." Paloma remained silent. "Besides, Camilla is becoming very dependent on you. That's not healthy. She only swims. You're confusing a child who already has limitations." "Mrs. Veronica, I just want to help. The best way to help is to do your job, clean the house, that's all. And if Camilla wants to talk to me, you listen politely, but don't fill her head with ideas." "What kind of ideas?" "That she's smarter than she really is? That she can do things she can't?" Paloma felt angry, but she controlled herself. "I understand. Perfect. Because if I realize that you're still interfering in her education, I'm going to have to do without your services." The threat was clear. Paloma nodded and went back to work. Later, Camilla approached her in the kitchen. "Paloma, why are you sad?" "I'm not sad, dear." "Yes, you are. Your eyes look different." Camilla's perception was impressive. "It's just that sometimes adults worry about things at work." "Veronica was mean to you." Paloma hesitated. How could she respond without lying, but without complicating things? "Veronica just wants me to do my job well." "You do." "Well, thank you, dear." Camilla remained thoughtful. "Paloma, are you leaving?" "Why are you asking that?" "Veronica said you can leave." Paloma felt her heart sink. Veronica was using the threat to scare Camilla too. "I'm not going to leave." "Okay, you promise?" "I promise." But inside, Paloma knew that the promise might be difficult to keep. In the afternoon, Alejandro came home from work and found Camilla too quiet. "What did you do today, princess?" "I played in my room all alone." "Why didn't you play in the living room?" Camilla looked at Veronica before answering. "Because I have to be quiet." "Who said that?" "Veronica. She said you liked the house to be quiet." Alejandro looked at his wife confused. "I never said I wanted the house to be quiet." "You didn't say it directly, Veronica," he explained. "But you always complain when you come home tired and there's noise." "What noise?" "Camilla playing. Sometimes she gets restless." "Veronica is 7 years old. 7-year-olds make noise. But special children need more discipline." "Discipline doesn't mean total silence." Alejandro crouched down in front of Camilla. "Princess, you can play in the living room. You can make noise like a little girl. It's okay." But Veronica said, "Forget what Veronica said. Daddy is telling you that you can." Camilla looked uncertainly between her father and her stepmother. Alejandro, don't you think that's going to confuse her? Veronica intervened. What's going to confuse her is receiving contradictory orders. They're not contradictory, they're complementary. Like, I'm in charge of daily discipline. You can be more flexible on the weekends. Why only on the weekends? Because during the week she needs a strict routine. Alejandro was getting irritated with so many rules. Camila, starting today, you can play wherever you want in the house. Okay, okay, Daddy. Veronica looked visibly upset. That night, after Camilla fell asleep, the argument erupted. Alejandro, are you undermining my authority? Authority or excessive control? Necessary control. You don't live with her all day. And whose fault is that? You always find excuses not to be with her. Because you don't understand her needs? Or because you don't want her to understand them? Veronica was speechless for a moment. Alejandro, I'm trying to protect you. Protect me from what? From being disappointed. Camilla has real limitations. If you create too many expectations, the only limitations I see are the ones you put on her. The words came out harsher than Alejandro intended, but it was how he felt. I don't put limitations on her. I recognize reality. What reality? The teacher said she's one of the best students. It's different at school. Why would it be different? Veronica was at a loss for a convincing answer. Alejandro, you've changed a lot since this maid arrived. Changed? How? Questioning everything I do, doubting how well I take care of Camilla. Maybe because I'm seeing Camilla with different eyes. What eyes? The eyes of a father who realized he was neglecting his own daughter. Alejandro went up to his room, leaving Veronica alone in the living room. She knew she was losing control of the situation. Alejandro was waking up, Camilla was becoming more self-confident, and it was all Paloma's fault. It was time to get rid of her once and for all. The next day, Veronica called a friend. Hi, Patricia. Do you know any agencies for reliable domestic workers? Why, what about the current one? Too many problems. I need to replace her urgently. What did she do? She's meddling where she shouldn't, influencing Camilla inappropriately. Come on, what kind of influence? Filling her head with wrong ideas, making her question my authority. And Alejandro knows Alejandro is also being manipulated. This woman is dangerous, so fire her. It's not that simple. Alejandro likes her work. I need a solid justification. What kind of justification? Something that proves she's not trustworthy. Veronica hung up with a plan formed in her head. If she couldn't fire Paloma for obvious reasons, she would create reasons that Alejandro couldn't ignore. And the first step would be to turn Camila against Paloma. After all, if the girl herself rejected the housekeeper, Alejandro would have no choice but to fire her. Veronica smiled coldly, and it was going to be easier than she had imagined. Camilla was just a girl with Down syndrome. How could she resist the manipulation of a determined adult? But Veronica underestimated two things: Camilla's emotional intelligence and the strength of the connection the girl had developed with Paloma. The war was just beginning, and Camilla, without knowing it, was about to become the centerpiece of a battle for her own happiness. On Wednesday, Veronica woke up determined. Alejandro was asking too many questions. It was time to get rid of Paloma for good. She waited for Alejandro to leave and called Camilla. I need your help today. With what? We're going to find out if Paloma is honest. Veronica took a gold bracelet off her own wrist. I'm going to leave this in a special place. If she takes it, we'll know she steals. She doesn't steal. We'll see. You can't tell anyone. Okay. Why? Because it's our secret. If you tell her, Paloma will run away before we can prove she's bad. Camilla was confused, but she nodded. Veronica hid the bracelet inside the kitchen rag that Paloma always used to clean. Now you're going to stay quiet and watch. When Paloma arrived, she began cleaning as usual. Veronica watched her from afar, waiting. Paloma, can you clean the kitchen today? It needs a thorough cleaning. Sure, ma'am. Paloma went to get the rags. When she picked up the dishcloth, the bracelet fell to the floor with a clatter. How strange, Paloma muttered, bending down to pick it up. It was exactly what Veronica wanted. Camilla, come here now. The girl ran to the kitchen, frightened. Look at this. I caught Paloma stealing. Camilla saw Paloma holding the bracelet, confused. Paloma, what are you doing with my bracelet? It fell off the rag. I don't know how it fell off the rag. How did my bracelet end up on the rag? I don't know, ma'am. I just picked up the rag and it fell out. Camilla, you saw Paloma with my bracelet. Camilla looked between the two of them, confused. I saw her with the bracelet, so you stole it. No, I didn't steal anything, Paloma protested. Of course you stole it. It was hidden in the rag so you could take it later. That's not true. Camilla saw you with the bracelet, didn't she? The girl nodded, but she was clearly confused. Take your things and get out of my house. Ma'am, please let me explain. There's nothing to explain. Thieves don't stay in my house. I never stole anything. The bracelet was in the rag. How convenient, isn't it? Paloma looked at Camilla desperately. Camilla, you know I would never steal. You know me. Camilla looked into Paloma's eyes and saw genuine desperation, but she remembered that Veronica said it was a secret. I don't know. Get your things now. Paloma picked up her bag with tears in her eyes. Camilla, I'm going to miss you so much. The girl began to cry when Paloma left. Stop crying. You should be happy. We got a thief out of our house. I didn't want her to leave. She was bad, Camilla. You'll understand when you're older. But Camilla continued crying for the rest of the day. When Alejandro arrived that night, Veronica told him her version of events. I fired Paloma today. Why? I caught her stealing my gold bracelet. What do you mean, stealing? Camilla saw her with the bracelet in her hand. Alejandro looked at his daughter. Camilla, what did you see? I saw Paloma with a bracelet. Where? In the kitchen. And did you see her take the bracelet from somewhere? Camilla hesitated. She remembered that Veronica had said it was a secret. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Bracelet. It fell. It fell from where? From the rag. Alejandro frowned. Veronica, the bracelet was on the cleaning rag. It was. She hid it. There. You saw her hide it. I didn't need to see her. The evidence was there. What evidence? If she hid it in the rag, why would she drop it in front of you? Because we caught her off guard. Alejandro wasn't convinced. Camilla, Paloma seemed to be stealing. No, she seemed scared. Scared like she didn't understand. The innocent observation made Alejandro think. Where is Paloma now? I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to look for her. What for? To hear her side of the story. Alejandro, don't you believe me? I want to be sure before I accuse someone of theft. Veronica became nervous. If you bring that thief back, I'm leaving the house. Veronica, it's not a threat. It's a decision. Alejandro looked at his wife, noticing for the first time the tone of ultimatum. Why are you so afraid of me talking to her? I'm not afraid. I just don't accept thieves in my house. If she really stole something, there's no problem with you talking to her. The problem is that you doubt my word. I'm not doubting you. I just want to understand better. Veronica realized she was being overly defensive. Fine, do what you want. But if she comes back, I'm leaving. Alejandro was left pensive. Veronica's reaction was too strange. The next day, he decided to investigate on his own. On Thursday, Alejandro left for work, but returned an hour later without warning. He parked far away and entered through the back. He wanted to see how Camilla was behaving without Paloma. He found the girl sitting alone in the living room, not playing with anything. Hello, princess. Daddy, Camilla ran into his arms. Why did you come back? Veronica appeared, surprised. I forgot some documents. Alejandro crouches down with Camilla. Why aren't you playing? I don't want to. Why am I sad? Sad looks at Veronica fearfully. I miss Paloma. Camilla, we already talked about that. Veronica intervenes. Paloma was bad. She wasn't bad. Yes, she was. She stole from us. No, she didn't. She didn't steal. Alejandro paid attention to the girl's conviction. Camilla, how do you know she didn't steal? The girl looked at Veronica, torn because the bracelet wasn't hers. Exactly. That's why she stole it. No, Camilla became agitated. Veronica put the bracelet in a cloth. Total silence in the room. What did you say? Alejandro asked. Veronica put it there. Camilla, stop making up stories, Veronica shouted. I didn't make it up. I saw you put it there. Alejandro looked at his wife. Veronica, you put the bracelet on the cloth. Of course not. She's confusing things. I'm not confusing anything. You said it was a secret. Camilla has Down syndrome. Alejandro, you're making up stories. I'm not making anything up. Camilla started to cry. Alejandro picked up his daughter. Calm down, princess. Tell daddy what happened. Veronica put the bracelet on the rag so you would find it. Why? To say that the pigeon bad. Alejandro felt his blood boil and told you not to tell anyone. She told me it was a secret. Alejandro looked at Veronica with an expression she had never seen before. Is that true or is that true, Alejandro? Are you going to believe a girl with mental problems? She doesn't have mental problems. Yes, she does, and she's making it up to defend the maid. Why would she make up something so specific? Why would she make up something so specific? Because she misses Paloma and wants her back. Alejandro put Camilla on the couch. Princess, go to your room for a minute. Daddy needs to talk to Veronica. Camilla ran out. Veronica, tell me the truth. I already told you. The real truth. Alejandro, did you set a trap for Paloma or not? Veronica realized that she had no way out. I suspected that she was stealing. I suspected it because little things would go missing and she was always nearby. What things? An earring, a pen. And you thought trying her with your gold bracelet was a good idea. I wanted to be sure. And when she didn't take the bracelet, you decided to accuse her anyway. Yes, she took it, Veronica. She found the bracelet because you put it there, but her intention could have been to steal it. The intention. Are you accusing someone of intention? Alejandro was yelling. You destroyed the reputation of an innocent person. Alejandro was hurting our family. How? By making Camilla come clean, by making you question my care. Maybe because your care deserves to be questioned. I take very good care of Camilla. Taking good care is using her to lie about an innocent person. Veronica was speechless. I'm going to find Paloma to apologize and then I'm going to ask her to come back. Alejandro, if you do that, I'm leaving the house. Then leave. Veronica was in shock. What do you mean, leave? If you can't live with someone who makes my daughter happy, that's your problem. Are you choosing a maid over your wife? I'm choosing to do the right thing. Alejandro took the keys. Where are you going? To find Paloma, and if she doesn't want to come back, I'll understand. After what you did, she has every right. Alejandro, if you walk out that door, what are you going to do? Veronica realized that she had lost all influence over her husband. Nothing, I'm just going to think about our marriage. Good idea. Alejandro left, leaving Veronica alone with her lies exposed. She went up to Camilla's room. Spoiled girl, you told everything. You said not to tell lies. I told you not to tell the secret. But Daddy asked, and I couldn't lie. I don't like lying. Veronica looked at the girl with hatred. Because of you, I'm going to lose my husband. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's no use. You ruined everything. Camilla began to cry. Stop crying. It won't solve anything. Veronica stormed out of the room, slamming the door behind her. She knew that when Alejandro returned with Paloma, her position in the house would become untenable. It was time to leave, but not without first delivering the final blow. If she couldn't stay with Alejandro, she was going to make sure no one else could either. Alejandro drove around town looking for Paloma. He remembered that she had mentioned living in a neighborhood near downtown. After an hour of driving around, he stopped at a gas station to ask if anyone knew a woman named Paloma, who worked as a maid. Paloma Hernandez, he asked the employee. Yes, I know her. She's over there on the corner selling food. Alejandro found Paloma at a simple stand serving meals to workers. Paloma. She turned around and was surprised. Mr. Alejandro, can I talk to you? Sure. They walked away from the stand. I came to apologize. You're forgiven. Camilla told me the truth about the bracelet. Paloma remained silent. Veronica set it all up. She put the bracelet in the rag to frame you. I knew something was wrong, but who would believe me? You're right, and I apologize for not investigating before. Thank you for believing me now. Paloma, I want to offer you your job back. She hesitated. I don't know if that's a good idea. Why not? Mrs. Veronica is going to still be there, and she clearly hates me. Actually, I think Veronica is going to leave the house. How come? We fought. She said that if she brought you back, she would leave. And you chose to bring me back. I chose to do what was right for Camilla. Paloma looked toward the food stand and then back at Alejandro. How is Camilla? She's devastated. She's crying and doesn't want to play. She asks about you all the time. Poor thing, she was the one who told me the truth. Even though she was afraid, she defended you. She's a special girl. Yes, and she needs you. Paloma thought for a few seconds. All right, I'll go back. Really? But if Mrs. Veronica mistreats me again, I'm leaving and I'm not coming back. That won't happen. I guarantee it. They returned home together. When they entered, the house was strangely silent. Camilla, Alejandro shouted. Daddy, the voice came from the bedroom. Come down here. I have a surprise. Camilla came down slowly and saw Paloma. Paloma ran and threw herself into Paloma's arms. Hello, darling, I missed you so much. You came back, and you're back for good. Promise? I promise. Where's Veronica? Alejandro asked. In her room, packing. Packing. She said she's leaving. Alejandro went upstairs to talk to Veronica. He found her packing her things. So you've decided to leave. I have no choice, do I? You made it clear that you prefer them. I prefer the truth to lies. Alejandro, I made a mistake. Mistake. Veronica, you destroyed the reputation of an innocent person. I was trying to protect our family. Protect from what? From someone who makes Camila happy? From someone who was taking her away from me? Camila was never yours. You never tried to win her love. Yes, I did, by lying to her, using her in your schemes. Veronica stopped packing her bags. Alejandro, give me a chance. I can change. How? I can learn to handle Camila better. Veronica, you used my daughter to frame an innocent person. How can I trust you after that? Because I love you. Love doesn't do what you did. Alejandro, please, Veronica, it's better if you leave. We need time to think. Time for what? To decide if we still have a future together. And if I don't leave, then it's going to get very uncomfortable for everyone. Veronica realized that she no longer had any bargaining power. All right, but this isn't over. Alejandro, what do you mean? Camila is a special child. She needs care that a domestic worker can't provide. What kind of care? Mommy care. And if I can't be her mommy, maybe it's better for her to go with a family that can take care of her properly. What are you talking about? I'm talking about families that specialize in children like Camila. Veronica, are you suggesting that I abandon my daughter? I'm suggesting that you think about her well-being. Her well-being is to stay with her dad who loves her and with a housekeeper as a mother figure. Better with a housekeeper who loves her than with a stepmother who mistreats her. Veronica finished packing in silence. Alejandro, are you going to regret this decision? Why? Because raising a special child is only easy, and no woman is going to want to marry a man who has a problematic daughter. Camila isn't problematic for you, no, but for society, she can go to society. Veronica went downstairs with the suitcases. In the living room, she found Camila playing with Paloma. Camila, come say goodbye. The girl looked at her without moving. You don't want to? No, why not? Because you are mean. I'm not mean. I just tried to raise you. You lied about Paloma. Camila, go and don't come back. Camila's coldness surprised even Alejandro. It's okay, but someday you'll understand that I was trying to protect you. From what? Camila asked. From people who pretend to love you. Camila looked at Paloma and then back at Veronica. Paloma, she doesn't pretend. You pretended. The simple, direct observation left Veronica speechless. She left the house knowing she had lost everything, but also knowing she wasn't going to give up so easily. If she couldn't have Alejandro, she was going to make sure he wasn't happy either. And she knew exactly how to do it. With Veronica out of the house, life changed completely. Camila smiled again, played, and learned with Paloma. Alejandro started working part-time to spend more time with his daughter. For the first time, he felt like he had a real family. Daddy, can I ask you something? Camila said during dinner. Of course, princess. Veronica, is she coming back? I don't know why you're asking, because I'm scared. Scared of what? That she'll be mean. Again, Alejandro looked at Paloma, who was helping Camila cut the food. Princess, if Veronica comes back someday, she'll have to promise to be nice to you. And if she lies, what then? If she promises but is still mean? The question showed how Camila had learned to distrust adults. Then I won't let her come back. Do you promise? I promise. Camila smiled and continued eating. After dinner, Alejandro put Camila to bed and went downstairs to talk to Paloma. How do you think she's handling all this? Better than I expected. The kids are resilient, but the things Veronica said to her, do you think they caused her any trauma? They did, but love heals trauma, and Camila knows that she is loved because of me and you. Yes, Alejandro was silent for a moment. Paloma, can I ask you a personal question? You can ask me anything. Why do you care so much about Camila? Because she reminds me of my brother. You have a brother with Down syndrome. I had one. He died when I was 15. How? Pneumonia, but really he died from a lack of love. How so? My parents were ashamed of him. They hid him away. They didn't take him anywhere. They didn't stimulate him. When he got sick, they hardly fought to save him. Alejandro was shocked. When I saw how Veronica treated Camila, I remembered Joaquin and swore that I wouldn't let it happen again. That's why you're so devoted to her. That and because she deserves it. Camila is an amazing girl. Yes, she is. They stayed up late talking about plans for Camila's future, school, activities. For a week, everything was perfect. But on Friday, Alejandro received a call at work. Alejandro Montemayor. Yes, this is Laisha Aguirre from DIF. Alejandro's skin bristled. Tell me, we have received a report of neglect of a minor in your care. What do you mean, neglect? Camila Montemayor, 7 years old, Down syndrome. What happened to her? According to the report, the girl is being cared for by an unqualified employee while her father is at work. The employee is fully qualified and I'm working part-time. Sir Alejandro, I need to make a technical visit to assess the situation. When? This afternoon. It's urgent. The complaint alleges imminent risk to the girl. Alejandro hung up, trembling. He knew exactly who had made the complaint. He rushed home. Paloma, Camila, what happened? Paloma appeared frightened. Veronica reported us to the DIF. What do you mean she reported us? She said that Camila is being neglected. But that isn't true, I know. But they are coming today to do an evaluation. And if they believe the complaint, they can take Camila away from me. Paloma turned pale. What do we do? Get everything perfect. Clean house, Camila well cared for, documents in order. Hey, what about me? I'm just a maid with no career, no official qualifications. What if they think I can't take care of her? Alejandro hadn't thought of that. We'll explain that you have experience, that Camila loves you. Alejandro, if they want to be strict, they'll say that special children need a qualified caregiver. So what do you suggest? That you hire a nanny with a technical degree? And you? I'll continue as a domestic worker, but officially I won't be taking care of Camila. But she won't accept anyone else. She'll have to accept it at least until this situation is resolved. At 3:00 p.m., Lael Aguirre arrived with a social worker. Good afternoon, I'm Lael, Leticia Aguirre. This is social worker Monica. Good afternoon, please come in. Where is Camila? She's in her room resting. Can I see her? Of course, they went upstairs. Camila was playing with building blocks. Hello, Camila, I'm Leticia. Hi. Hey, how are you? Fine. Who takes care of you when your dad is at work? Camila looked at Alejandro uncertainly. Aunt Monica. Alejandro lied, pointing to the social worker, who understood the cue. And where is Aunt Monica? Here. The social worker continued with the performance. Hi, Camila. How was your day? The questions continued for half an hour. Camila answered everything correctly, but Alejandro noticed that she was confused by the situation. Afterwards, they spoke with Alejandro alone. The complaint alleges that an unqualified domestic worker is in charge of the girl. As you can see, that is not true. Monica has a degree in education. I can see her diploma. Alejandro was in a bind. It's in his car. You can go get it. Did the social worker go out to find the non-existent diploma? Mr. Alejandro, the person who made the complaint, claims to have detailed information about neglect. What kind of information? That the girl is left alone with the maid, that she does not receive adequate stimulation, that she is being harmed in her development. That's a lie. I can talk to the complainant. Who is Veronica Estrada? She claims to be the girl's stepmother. Ex-stepmother. We are separated. That's why she filed the complaint. Probably the LC. Aguirre wrote everything down. I'm going to write a report based on what I saw today. The girl seems well cared for. She is very well cared for. But I'm going to need to follow up on the situation for a few weeks. No problem. After they left, Alejandro sat down on the couch, exhausted. And now, Paloma asked, now we pray that Veronica doesn't have any more cards up her sleeve. But Alejandro knew that Veronica wasn't going to give up. The war had only just begun, and this time not only Camila's happiness was at stake, but also her own custody. On Monday, Alejandro hired LCK, Fernando Villaseñor, a lawyer specializing in family law. The complaint is serious, Veronica explained. She alleges abandonment of a minor and negligence. But Camilla is well cared for legally. The problem is that Paloma does not have official qualifications to care for special needs children. And what does that mean? They could determine that Camilla needs a qualified caregiver or even transfer custody. To whom? To whomever the judge deems most suitable, including Veronica. Alejandro felt like his world was falling apart. Is there any solution? Some. You can hire a nanny with a degree, put Camilla in full-time school, or marry Paloma. What do you mean? If she's your wife, she can legally take care of Camila. The stepmother has rights, but isn't that too obvious? Yes, but if they really love each other, it could work. Alejandro returned home deep in thought. He found Paloma helping Camila with her homework. How did it go, Daddy? Camila asked. Fine, Princess. Keep studying. Alejandro called Paloma to talk in the kitchen. The situation is complicated. El Fernando said that they can take Camila away from me. What do you mean take her away if they prove that you're not qualified to take care of her? What do we do? Are there any options? Alejandro explained the alternatives. Paloma remained silent. What about the option of marriage, she asked. It would be convenient, but I don't want you to feel obligated. Alejandro, can I be honest? Of course, I love you. I have for a long time. Alejandro was surprised. Seriously, but I never said it because you were married and then because I thought it was just gratitude. It's not gratitude. I fell in love with you too. Seriously, seeing how you love Camila, how you take care of her, how you make our house a real home. They moved closer. So, do you want to marry me? Alejandro asked. To protect Camila, to protect our family. Our family? Paloma, I don't know how to explain it, but you two have become my life. I can't imagine existing without this anymore. Me neither. It's a yes. It's a yes. They kiss for the first time, sealing not only their legal commitment, but their emotional one as well. But we have to be discreet. Alejandro said, if it seems too obvious that it's a strategy, I understand. The next day they went to the civil registry office, a simple civil wedding with only the necessary witnesses. Now you're officially Mrs. Montemayor, Alejandro said as they left the registry office. And Camila has a legal mother. When they got home, Camila ran to greet them. Where did you go? We did something important. Alejandro said, what? Paloma is now my wife. Camila was confused. Wife. It's like when two people love each other very much and decide to be a family. Paloma is family. She always was, but now it's official. I can call her whatever you want. Camila looked at Paloma. I can call you Mommy. Paloma was moved. If you want me to, I want you to. Then you can, Mommy. It was the first time Camila had said that word since her biological mother's death. In the afternoon, the social worker arrived for her fourth visit. Good afternoon. I heard there have been changes in the family situation. That's right. I married Paloma this morning. Very convenient, don't you think? Lickagiri, I can be frank. You can. Yes, it was convenient, but it was also what I wanted to do for a long time. How so? I fell in love with Paloma watching how she cares for Camila. The legal timing only accelerated a decision I had already made emotionally. And you, Paloma, also fell in love conveniently. Licensed. I fell in love with Alejandro long before I knew about the legal problems. If it were just convenience, I would have looked for another job. Why didn't you look for another job? Because I couldn't abandon Camila, even though she was being mistreated by his ex-wife. Mainly because of that, Camila needed someone who believed in her. Lalika Gire wrote everything down. Can I talk to Camila? Sure, she went up to the girl's room. Hi, Camila, how are you? Fine. I heard you have a new mom now. I do, Mommy Paloma. And how do you feel about that? Happy. Why? Because now I have a complete family. Explain that to me, Daddy, Mommy, and me, like other families. And do you like your Mommy Paloma? I like her a lot. What makes you like her? She plays with me. She teaches me things. She doesn't yell. Someone yelled at you. Veronica yelled. And now she doesn't. Only love. Only love. Daddy loves. Mommy loves. I love. Lalika Gira came down excited. Camilla seems genuinely happy. She is, Alejandro confirmed. I'm going to write the final report. Based on everything I observed, I see no reason to intervene. Seriously, the girl is well cared for, happy, developing. The marriage may have been strategic, but the outcome is positive for her. In the investigation, I'm going to recommend that the case be closed. After Leah Geary left, the family celebrated. It's over, Camilla asked. It's over, princess. Veronica, you can't take me away. You can't. Well, that night, Alejandro and Paloma talked after putting Camilla to bed. Do you regret it? He asked her. Getting married, taking on a complicated family? Alejandro, this family isn't complicated. It's special. How so? Camilla taught me that love has no limitations, that happiness is found in the simple things, that family is who loves you, not who shares your blood. And I learned that being a dad isn't just about providing food and shelter. It's about giving attention, affection, and being there. Now we are three people who truly love each other, three people who are going to face everything together. But Alejandro knew that Veronica wasn't going to accept defeat easily. The war wasn't over. The first weeks of marriage were a time of adjustment. It took Camilla a few days to get used to calling Paloma mommy, but once she got used to it, she couldn't stop. Mommy, look, she would say with every little achievement. Mommy, come here. When she wanted to show him something. Mommy, I'll stay with you when I'm scared. Alejandro watched the interactions with growing emotion. For the first time since Isabella's death, he felt that Camilla had a real mother figure. Alejandro, can I ask you something? Paloma said one night. Sure, do you feel like you're betraying Isabella's memory? The question caught him off guard. Sometimes I do, but not in the way you think. How so? I feel guilty for taking so long to give Camilla what she needed. What was that? A mom who really loved her. Isabella loved her. She loved her. But Isabella died when Camilla was a baby. She grew up without a mother figure. And with Veronica, Veronica was pretending. And I was too blind to notice. Alejandro, you did the best you could. I did. I let them mistreat my daughter for 2 years. You didn't know. I should have known. I'm her dad. Paloma took his hand. The important thing is that now you know and you're doing things differently. Thanks to you, thanks to us. We're a team now. At school, the changes in Camilla were obvious. The teacher commented to Paloma, Camilla is much more involved in class. How so? She used to be more quiet, withdrawn, but now she raises her hand, asks questions, interacts with her classmates. That's good, right? Very good. It shows that she's feeling more secure. Secure how? Children who feel loved at home become more secure at school. And how does she talk about home? She always talks about Mommy Paloma with a lot of affection. She draws the three of you together all the time. At home, Camilla really drew the family constantly, always the three figures together. Daddy tall, Mommy medium, her little all smiling. In the 4th month of marriage, Camilla had an inexplicable crying crisis. What's wrong, princess? Alejandro asked. I'm scared. Scared of what? Mommy is going to leave. Why would she leave? Veronica left. Alejandro understood. Camilla was afraid that Paloma would abandon her too. Camilla, look at me. She looked at him. Mommy Paloma is not like Veronica. How? I know because Mommy Paloma really loves you and Veronica didn't love me. No, Veronica was pretending. How do I know that Mommy isn't pretending? It was a difficult question to answer for a little girl, because when someone really loves you, you feel it here. Alejandro pointed to his chest. I feel it. Do you feel that Mommy loves me? Then you can rest easy. Paloma, who had been listening to the conversation from the doorway, entered the room. Camilla, can I tell you a secret? Can you? I chose you. How? Like this. Veronica was forced to take care of you because she married your dad. I chose to take care of you because I wanted to. You chose me? Really? I chose you from the first day I saw you. Why, Mom? Because you're special. And I always wanted to have a special daughter like you. Really, really. Camilla hugged Paloma tightly. I choose you too. For what? To be my mom. Forever, forever. From that conversation on, Camilla became more confident. She stopped asking if Paloma was going to leave and began making plans for the future. Mommy, when I grow up, can I live with you? Of course, you'll always be our daughter. And when you get old, I'll take care of you if you want. I want to because family takes care of each other. Family. Alejandro and Paloma looked at each other emotionally. Camilla had understood perfectly the concept of family. One night, Alejandro found Paloma crying in the kitchen. What happened? Nothing serious, just happiness. Happiness, Alejandro. I never thought I would have a family, and now I have you and Camila. And we have you. Sometimes it seems like a dream. If it's a dream, I don't want to wake up. Me neither. They hugged each other, knowing that they had built something special. But the following week, Veronica would return to try to destroy everything they had achieved. One Thursday morning, Veronica appeared at the door with a man in a suit. Alejandro, I need to talk to you. What do you want, Veronica? I came to get what is mine. You have nothing here. Yes, I have a right to Camila. The man introduced himself. Legis Arturo Barragan, attorney. I'm here to represent the interests of Mrs. Veronica. What interests? Paloma asked, appearing at the door. The lady was the minor's stepmother for 2 years. That guarantees her visitation rights. Alejandro called LCK Fernando on the phone. Counselor, I need you here urgently. While they waited, Veronica entered the house. Where's Camila? At school. How convenient. That way we can talk without her hearing. Talk about what? About her future. Veronica, don't you have a future with Camila? Yes, I do. I was her stepmother for 2 years. I took care of her. I educated her. I was a mother figure. Paloma almost laughed. Mother figure? You mistreated her. That's your version. It's the truth. Prove it. Fernando arrived quickly. What's the situation? The LCK, Arturo explained. My client wants visitation rights with the minor. The law guarantees this to stepmothers who live together as a family. For how long? 2 years. And what is the specific request? Supervised visits every 2 weeks. And if the father objects, she can appeal to the courts on the grounds that his marriage to the domestic worker was only to undermine the rights of my client. Alejandro realized the trick. If he fought the visits, Veronica would use that to question his marriage. Lick Fernando, can you get that, technically? Yes, if he proves family cohabitation. Ma, I can prove it, Veronica said. I have photos, videos, documents. What kind of documents? Doctor's appointments that I accompanied her to at school, purchases I made for her. Alejandro knew that Veronica really had those things. She always documented everything to look like a good stepmother. But there's a problem. Fernando said, what? If it's proven that there was abuse during that time living together, the rights are revoked. How do you prove abuse? Enrique Arturo asked. Witnesses, evidence, a confession? There's none of that. Paloma had an idea. Liquier. Fernando, can I talk to Veronica alone for 5 minutes? It's not advisable, please. Maybe we can work this out without lawyers. Veronica agreed. The lawyers left. Alejandro stayed in the kitchen, but left his cell phone recording hidden. Veronica, what do you really want? I want my rights. What rights? You hated Camilla. I didn't hate her? Yes, you did. You said so yourself several times. When? When you said she should have died with her mother, you bitch. When you pinched her. When you left her hungry. When you yelled at her. I lost my patience sometimes it was always. You mistreated an innocent child. I tried to love her. I tried. Love isn't something you try, Veronica. Either it exists or it doesn't. I couldn't. Every time I looked at her, I felt rage. The rage of a 7-year-old girl. Rage at the situation, at the fact that Alejandro never loved me the way he loved Isabella. And you took it out on Camilla. I maybe did. How did you take it out on her? By being harsh, impatient. What else? Paloma, do you want me to confess? I want you to be honest for the first time in your life. Okay, I hated having to pretend that I loved that girl. I hated having to take care of her. And how I showed that hatred, being cruel, telling her she was a burden, that because of her, Alejandro would never love me completely. You said that to Camila. I told her that and more. I told her she ruined my chance to be a mother. Alejandro was in the kitchen and recorded everything. The lawyers came back. They reached some agreement, Arturo asked. We're here, Paloma said. Veronica is going to give up any rights to Camila. What do you mean, give up? Alejandro showed up with his cell phone because he confessed that he hated and abused Camila. It's all recorded. The leak. Arturo looked at Veronica in shock. Is that true? Veronica realized she had fallen into a trap. It was a private conversation that could be used as evidence. L. Fernando confirmed it. Veronica, Alejandro said, you have two options. You give up your rights to Camila, or I use this recording against you. But nothing. You confess that you hated my daughter, that you mistreated her, that you said cruel things to her in LCK. Arturo whispered something in Veronica's ear. My client agrees to give up the rights. In writing, LLCK. Fernando prepared a waiver document. Veronica signed with tears in her eyes. Alejandro, are you going to regret this? What? Choosing this family instead of me. I already made my choice, Veronica, and it was the best decision of my life. Veronica left the house knowing she had lost for good. In the afternoon, when Camila returned from school, Alejandro told her that Veronica was no longer going to bother them. She was gone for good. Forever. Well, why good? Because now I can be happy without fear. And for the first time since Veronica left home, Camila smiled without a shadow of fear in her eyes. 3 months later, the family's life had completely stabilized. Veronica's threat was over, and now they could focus on what really mattered, being happy together. Camila was blossoming in a way that surprised even the doctors. At her last appointment with the pediatrician, Dr. Eduardo commented, Camila's development is exceptional. How so? Alejandro asked. Is she reaching milestones we didn't expect for her age? What kind of milestones? Communication, motor coordination, social interaction? Everything has improved significantly. What could have caused this? A stable environment, unconditional love, adequate stimulation. Paloma smiled proudly, and at school, the teacher says she is one of the most beloved students in the group. Even though she is different, Camila asked, Princess, you're not different. You're special. Alejandro replied, special is good. Special is wonderful. At home, Camila had developed little routines that showed how secure she felt. Every morning she woke up and went straight to Alejandro in Paloma's room. Good morning, Daddy. Good morning, Mommy. Good morning, my love. Paloma would reply, can I make breakfast with you? Of course you can. In the kitchen, Camila helped with simple tasks. She put bread on the table, put away dishes, organized things. She was always singing softly, always smiling. Mommy, can I have a question. Can you? Are you going to have a baby? Paloma was surprised. Why do you ask that? Because other moms at school have babies. And do you want a little brother? I do, but only if you want one. And if we have a baby, will you help take care of it? Yes, I'll teach it everything you taught me. Alejandro and Paloma looked at each other. They had talked about having children, but they hadn't decided anything yet. Camila, even if we have another baby, you will always be our first daughter. Always. Always. Well, a week later at school, there was a family day festival. Each child could bring their family members to introduce them to the group. Camila was beaming. Daddy, Mommy, come meet my friends. She introduced them to the whole group. This is my dad, Alejandro. This is my mom, Paloma. A boy asked, Camila, why doesn't your mom look like you? Because she chose me. What do you mean she chose you? She didn't have to be my mom, but she wanted to. That makes it more special. The teacher was touched by her answer. During the activity, each child had to draw their family. Camila drew the same picture she always did. 3 figures holding hands, all smiling. But this time she wrote underneath, my family who loves me. Camila, did you write this by yourself? The teacher asked. I wrote it. Mom taught me. It was beautiful. At the end of the festival, the principal spoke with Alejandro and Paloma. I want to thank you. Why? Camila has changed completely since you got married. She was a terciad withdrawn girl, and now she's one of the most outgoing. She was always special. She just needed love, and you gave it to her. She gave us so much more. On the way home, Camila said, Daddy, Mommy, can I tell you a secret? Can you? I'm the happiest girl in school. Why? Because I have the best family in the world. Even though we're not rich, Alejandro asked. Rich? In what? In money. We're rich in love. That's better. That night, after putting Camila to bed, Alejandro and Paloma talked on the terrace. Do you regret anything, she asked him. Nothing, nothing. And you, I only regret taking so long to realize what really matters. What is that? Family isn't who you're born with. It's who you decide to love and who decides to love you back. Camilla chose us from the first day, and we chose her too. Alejandro took Paloma's hand. Do you know what I want for the future? What? I want to grow old watching Camilla grow up, graduate, maybe get married, maybe have children. Do you think she'll achieve all that? With the love she has at home, she'll achieve anything, even becoming a mother, especially becoming a mother. She'll teach her children what she learned from you, that I taught her that love has no limits, that everyone deserves to be loved, that family is about choices, not blood. Paloma was moved. Alejandro, thank you for letting me be part of this. Thank you for completing our family. They kissed under the stars, knowing they had won the most important battle of their lives. Inside the house, Camilla slept peacefully, dreaming of her perfect family. A dad who loved her, a mom who chose her, and a home where she could be exactly who she was. On the nightstand was the drawing she had made at school. 3 figures holding hands and smiling with the phrase, "My family who loves me," written carefully, was proof that true love always wins, and that the best families are those built with decisions from the heart, not with blood obligations. Did you like this story? Do you think Veronica got what she deserved? Do you think Alejandro took too long to realize the truth? Tell me in the comments. Until the next story.